But first, welcome back to Today, everybody. I'm Campbell Brown along with Lester Holt. And coming up in this half hour, we've got Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman.
They are, in fact, in the house. I think we have a picture. There they are. Hey, guys. They've teamed up for the new film Snowcake. It centers on two people brought together by a deadly accident. They're going to join us live a bit later to talk about that and other projects they're working on. Happy to have them here.
Like, are we really on? And still to come on today, a slice of Snowcake. Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman join us to talk about their new film. That's next, right after these messages.
I'm fine.
She is a three-time Oscar nominee for her very diverse roles in Aliens, the 1988 romantic comedy Working Girls, and Gorillas in the Mist. He made his big screen debut as the ultimate villain in Die Hard, but might be best known as Professor Snape in the Harry Potter films. Now Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman are starring together in Snowcake, a drama about an adult autistic woman and the man who enters her life. Take a look.
The police have been, haven't they?
Yes, the police were here 2 hours and 20 minutes ago.
So you know what's happened?
Yes, I know Vivian is dead. Is that it?
Well, I just wanted to explain that I gave your daughter a lift. It was an accident. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman are joining us this morning. Good morning to both of you. Thanks so much for being on. That's one of many uncomfortable scenes in this movie. Because let me set the stage here. Alan, you're playing this closed off, emotionally damaged Brit who gives a 19-year-old girl a lift. She dies in a car crash in his car. You go to meet the mother and you find out you're not quite sure in that scene, but she's autistic. Is that correct?
She is, but I don't think he knows quite what's going on. So that scene, apart from me looking like I'm a drowned rat, is also somebody who's very confused because there's somebody who's opened the door and A, isn't looking at you, and B, seems to be unaffected by the news about what's happened to her daughter.
She's just found out her daughter has died and doesn't react as we would expect. And Sigourney, this had to be a very difficult part to play.
You know, it took me a long time to find, there's such a range of autism, and this character, Linda, was very verbal, very high functioning in some ways and not so in other ways. And it is about these three people who don't want to connect, who end up connecting with each other on some level.
And I mentioned the uncomfortable scene. There's several moments in the movie where you feel uncomfortable because you're trying to deal with, as a viewer, you're trying to deal with your own perceptions of autism. And there are moments in this film that you're playing a part that is no different than anyone else in the movie.
Good. That's good.
That's what you were looking for.
Yes, there should be, certainly, there were moments when I was researching the part where, in the right circumstance, where the person feels like they're in control, they're so high functioning that you would never know. So we did want to show that aspect. I mean, again, there's a huge range. And that was, there's that one scene where we're playing her version of Scrabble, comic book Scrabble, which was a lot of fun.
Making up the words, which we do in my household too.
And she slays him.
She slays him.
Yeah.
And Alan, I was interested to find out that you were cast first for this movie. You two, by the way, had played in Galaxy Quest several years ago, the only time you had worked together, and you recommended Sigourney for the role, didn't you?
Well, he told me that.
Well, no, it's absolutely true, but, you know, you read a script, a lot of what one does as an actor, hopefully, is kind of based on instinct rather than anything else. I read the script, and Sigourney's face just kept coming off the page to me, but there are specific requirements. You need somebody who's going to be intelligent about it and have fun and have absolutely no ego.
Right. And it's funny, when we sat down, you guys are great together. When we sat down, you asked me what was the first time in the movie I laughed, because you want to laugh at some point, so you're not sure if it's okay.
It's very okay. I think it's a very funny film. I mean, the only times I've ever seen it have been with a full audience, and there is this kind of the silence that you're talking about, where is this going? And it's probably when I cracked my head on the bottom bunk of her.
When you find out she's in the bunk. That was a great scene. I want to switch gears now, Sigourney. As a lot of folks know, your father started the Today Show, and you're playing in another movie right now called The TV Set, and I guess you're kind of playing the anti-Pat Weaver in this, aren't you?
I am playing the anti-Pat Weaver, absolutely. It's a very affectionate look at the hideous process of getting on a quality pilot, and I put the kibosh on anything that's demanding for the
We're
audience.
using a little of your inside knowledge of the business, obviously.
You know, I actually based it on a woman who runs a nonprofit who's very hard to say no to. So I just sort of, she's kind of rolls over you. So that's what I based it
Looking
on.
forward to that. Then, Alan, you've got a number of other projects, including, is this the, am I correct, the 5th Harry Potter film now about to come out?
That comes out in the summer, yeah.
And I know you can't talk much about it. I'm just wondering if playing
Won't is the answer.
you won't talk about it, but playing a part like that, does it get better and better? I mean, do you become more comfortable in the role?
I don't know. The point is not to be comfortable in that part, and the reason I don't talk about it is because I think it's very important to hang on to the, if you like, the mystery of the character.
Sure.
And it's important for children not to be figuring out who he is.
Well, I know they're all
find
of us are very expected to see that movie when it comes out. Sigourney Weaver and Alan Rickman, what a great pleasure to have both of you here. Congratulations on Snowcake.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And we should let folks know, by the way, it's in theaters right now and will continue rolling out in selected markets throughout July.